everyone, welcome to Screen Scream. I'm Viola. Sorry for the delay, but I was on a business trip, so I'm trying very hard to catch up with the episodes, and I also have some written reviews to write. Those are the movies I've watched recently, but I'm trying my best. So today's episode is about movies that consist a lot of contrasts. Movies with unexpected twists or unexpected plots. So without further ado, let's listen to the introduction of the first new movie we're going to talk about today.
世の中の
Senpai
可愛
is
いも
an
のは
Otokonoko,
女の子のた
clear
めにある
after
ら
the
しい。
rain. The plot is unknown at this time.
人には多かれ少なかれ。
What? Alright, I didn't want to translate the introduction myself, so I usually just read from IMDb, but you can tell the plot of this Japanese animation isn't on it. So don't worry, I will tell you right now. So the first new movie we're going to talk about today is a Japanese animation. Actually, it's the movie version of an anime. Simply put, it's a story about a love triangle. But what's interesting is that it's the relationship between a female fellow junior, and a female fellow senior and a male fellow senior. However, that female fellow senior is actually a boy. I don't really like this binary way to talk about genders, but when it comes to this animation, if you don't talk it this way, it would be very confusing because there's one misleading character. So basically, the story starts when the fellow junior, whose name's called Saki, confessed to her thought to be female fellow senior Makoto. The real male fellow senior Ryuji starts to help Saki to pursue Makoto, and Saki even calls Ryuji her master. So this is really a funny story, but the relationship between these three people would definitely change. This is not a regular love triangle that you would see. It's both sweet and struggling, both ambiguous and heartbroken. What I just mentioned is basically the plot of the anime, but this one, the movie version, it's going to upgrade to the brand new emotions and the pressure of the reality. And it's going to be the finale of this youth story. So if you are a dead-hard follower of this series, you would definitely want to check out this movie version. And now let's move on to the second new movie we're going to talk about today. The Accountant 2. When her former boss is killed by unknown assassins, Treasury agent Mary Beth Medina is forced to contact Christian Wolf to solve the murder. With the help of his estranged but highly lethal brother Brex, Chris applies his brilliant mind and less than legal methods to piece together the unsolved puzzle. As they get closer to the truth, the trio draw the attention of some of the most ruthless killers alive, all intent on putting a stop to their search.
Eventually, this body will be a corpse.
What do you mean you reverse engineered our algorithm?
By tokenizing your questions in an embedding matrix and generating.
The second new movie we're going to talk about today is the sequel of The Accountant. I did watch the first episode because I like Ben Affleck, and it has been 9 years since they finally launched the sequel. And the director actually released some watching guidelines from the actors because during their shooting, the director said that the most difficult is to make a deep movie about human trafficking, both interesting and entertaining. It's not easy to do that because it's a very serious topic. The supporting actress Daniela Pineda said that she thinks this is an action movie that can make people cry for it and laugh for it. So it's very suitable for cousins, fathers, friends, and moms to watch together, but maybe not good for kids because it's very violent. As for the plot, there are two storylines happening at the same time. Besides the main plot, the relationship between Braxton and Christian, there's still the standoff between the analyst, Mary Beth Medina, and the female assassin, Edith. So I would say it's as complicated as its prequel. You won't fully understand what's happening until you get the answer. Although Braxton, Christian, and Mary Beth's goals are the same, their ways of doing things are totally different. Like, Braxton, he's violent. Well, I wouldn't say he's a serial killer. He's a professional killer. Let's put it that way. And Christian, although he doesn't really follow rules that much, basically he's still the accountant. He follows some rules, at least some moral standards. And Mary Beth, she works for the government, so of course she's going to do things by law. So that makes it very difficult for the three of them to work together. However, the female assassin, Edith, has the same condition as Christian. She's very mysterious, very smart, and very dangerous. So you can tell that The Accountant 2 is a very interesting and exciting work to watch. If you've seen the first one, I highly recommend you to watch the second one. And before we move on to Top 007 to talk more movies about contrasts, let's review what we had from last week first. There were two top 3s, Oregon Child and The Chosen Last Supper Part 2. Top 2 was A Working Man, and top 1, a Minecraft movie. I can tell you that it has been a pretty big shift on our charts this week, but let's listen to top 7 to top 4 first. Top 6, Adult Special Life, Shinzo in Cinema. Death of a Unicorn.
It's a fucking unicorn.
I don't think I should be in swim shorts.
Top 5, Lovesick.
其实我最近常做噩梦，
什么意思？
梦到你啊。
绿岛有一个海。
Top 4, Sinners. Okay, so there are two new faces on this part of the chart this week. Let's start from top 6. There are two movies which are top 6. Adult Special Life Shinzo in Cinema and Death of a Unicorn. Adult Special Life Shinzo in Cinema, you can tell it's a concert. And recently, people have been releasing concert movies. Most of them are pretty good. And even if you're not a fan, you probably can enjoy their concert. Second top 6, Death of a Unicorn. It's a horror movie, but it's actually about a father and a daughter. They're on the road and they accidentally kill a unicorn, but the parents of the unicorn come for revenge. So you can see, oh, this is a fantasy, but at the same time, it's a horror. And the cast of this movie is pretty good actually, but it's not going to be released in Taiwan anytime soon. Top 5, Lovesick. As I mentioned previous weeks, this is probably the best Taiwanese movie so far this year, and you can see that it's still on the chart, so it's pretty popular, and it can compete with other Hollywood blockbusters. So if you like Taiwanese movies, I would recommend you to watch Lovesick. Last but not least, top 4, Sinners. I introduced it as a newly released movie last week. I thought it wouldn't be so popular in Taiwan because Taiwanese people aren't that into vampire topics, but it's really a good movie, so it's really popular in the US. And I think it's not so bad in Taiwan either. And like I mentioned, it stars Michael B. Jordan. If you like Michael B. Jordan, and you like vampire topic, and it's a horror movie, but it's not the kind of horror movie that you won't dare to watch. I know my topic last week was that, but it's a good movie worth watching. But now let's move on to top 3 to top 1, see which movie with the contrast that we're going to talk about. Top 3, The King of Kings.
Our story begins 2,000 years ago when baby Jesus came into the world.
Wait.
Top 2, The Amateur.
Your wife has been killed.
Top 1, A Minecraft Movie.
In the overworld,
Whoa.
anything you can dream about, you can create.
So they built all.
There's only one new movie on this side of the chart this week, and that's exactly the one we're going to talk about. So, I've wanted to talk about a Minecraft movie for a long time, but since there are other great movies that I can talk about, I'm going to leave it there once again. So let's talk about The King of Kings. It's an animation, and remember, this weekend is the Easter. And that's why The King of Kings popped to top 3. Be it in Taiwan or in the US, maybe all the Christians rushed to watch The King of Kings. It's not only about Christianity, about Easter, about Jesus. It's a good movie indeed. So first of all, Oscar Isaac is the Jesus. This is not his first time to dub for an animation. He used to play Miguel O'Hara in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And he also played the father in The Addams Family. So he's not unfamiliar with dubbing for an animation, but this time, being the son of the god will put him on the actor list of those who have played the Savior. As for Isaac, who grew up in a Christian family, this is a great opportunity to introduce Jesus to the next generation and to convey the inner power that Jesus conveys to everyone. Also, we'll be able to interpret Jesus' life through a new angle. The producer Anthony Kim said that they decided to make the family in the movie immerse in this ancient story to interact with people who criticize Christianity, the 12 disciples, and Jesus, so that people would feel that Bible is easier to understand and they feel closer to the Bible. And the crew hoped that they can bring touching emotions and entertainment for kids of all generations through Charles Dickens' special angle. And this is a totally different miracle story that you can hear on Easter. Why did I bring up Charles Dickens? You didn't hear it mistakenly. Yes, it's based on Charles Dickens' work. So it's not only about Christianity, it's about literature as well. So if you like Easter, you like Christianity, or you like Charles Dickens, I think The King of Kings is a good choice for you to watch. And I'm pretty sure it won't disappoint you. Alright, this is the end of this episode, and I'm trying very hard to catch up with the schedule. Please give me some time. I will try to keep up the show before I work for the World Masters Games so that I won't give up on it too easily. But please come back, and I hope I will be able to produce the next episode soon. See you next time.